राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी
राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी
राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी So welcome everyone to the Sunday Love Feast program. For those of first time, our Sunday program starts 5:30 with Tulsi Aarti, Guru Puja, Main Aarti, class, and then 7:30 there will be Prashadam, and then 8:30 there will be final darshan of the Lord. So we request you to please stay until the final darshan, take Prashadam, and only then leave. I would like to first of all seek blessings from all the senior Vaishnavas assembled here. And I would also like to especially thank my Bhakti Nature group, who, because they pleaded me to speak today, I'm speaking today. So thank you very much. And what a day it was. I was just entering inside and I was wondering, is there some festival going on here at Hare Krishna Temple? Tents are up, lightings are up, these nice posters are up. Something is happening. What's happening here?
Janmashtami!
There you go. So we'll speak about Janmashtami. So I'll speak two verses. I'll just read two verses from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, verse 4.7. Everybody knows this verse, very famous. But you may not know the exact meaning or the purport behind it. We generally just know the verses, but what really is the meaning behind it, we may not know. So today we'll read from Prabhupada's book and see what Srila Prabhupada says, what Krishna meant by this. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharatah abhyuttanam dharmasya tadatmanam srajamyaham yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharatah abhyuttanam dharmasya tadatmanam srajamyaham yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharatah abhyuttanam dharmasya tadatmanam srajamyaham.
Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharat, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Okay. The word Srajami is significant here. Srajami cannot be used in the sense of creation. Because, according to the previous verse, there is no creation of the Lord's form or body, since all of the forms are eternally existent. Therefore, Srajami means that the Lord manifests himself as he is. Although the Lord appears on schedule, namely at the end of the Dwapara Yuga, of the 28th millennium of the 7th Manu, in one day of Brahmas, he has no obligation to adhere to such rules and regulations, because he is completely free to act in many ways at his will. He therefore appears by his own will whenever there is a predominance of irreligiosity and a disappearance of true religion. Principles of religion are laid down in the Vedas, and any discrepancy in the matter of properly executing the rules of the Vedas makes one irreligious. In the Bhagavatam it is stated that such principles are the laws of the Lord. Only the Lord can manufacture a system of religion. The Vedas are also accepted as originally spoken by the Lord himself to Brahma from within his heart. Therefore, the principles of dharma or religion are the direct orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dharmam sakshat bhagavat pranitam. These principles are clearly indicated throughout the Bhagavad Gita. The purpose of the Vedas is to establish such principles under the order of the Supreme Lord. And the Lord directly orders at the end of the Gita that the highest principle of religion is to surrender unto Him only and nothing more. The Vedic principles push one towards complete surrender unto Him. And whenever such principles are disturbed by the demoniac, the Lord appears. From the Bhagavatam, we understand that Lord Buddha is the incarnation of Krishna who appeared when materialism was rampant and materialists were using the pretext of the authority of the Vedas. Although there are certain restricted rules and regulations regarding animal sacrifice for particular purposes in the Vedas, people of demonic tendencies still took to animal sacrifice without reference to the Vedic principles. Lord Buddha appeared in order to stop this nonsense and to establish the Vedic principles of non-violence. Therefore, each and every avatar or incarnation of the Lord has a particular mission, and they are all described in the revealed scriptures. No one should be accepted as an avatar unless he is referred to by scriptures. It is not a fact that the Lord appears only on Indian soil. He can manifest himself anywhere and everywhere and whenever he desires to appear. In each and every incarnation, he speaks as much about religion as can be understood by the particular people under their particular circumstances. But the mission is the same: to lead people to God consciousness and obedience to the principles of religion. Sometimes he descends personally, and sometimes he sends his bona fide representative in the form of his son or servant, or himself in some disguised form. The principles of the Bhagavad Gita were spoken to Arjuna, and for that matter, to other highly elevated persons, because he was highly advanced compared to ordinary persons in other parts of the world. 2 plus 2 equals 4 is a mathematical principle that is true in the beginner's arithmetic class, and in the advanced class as well. Still, there are higher and lower mathematics. In all incarnations of the Lord, therefore, the same principles are taught, but they appear to be higher and lower in varied circumstances. The higher principles of religion begin with the acceptance of the 4 orders and the 4 stances of social life, as will be explained later. The whole purpose of the mission of incarnations is to arouse Krishna consciousness everywhere. Such consciousness is manifest and non-manifest only under different circumstances. Next verse. Paritranaya sadhunam.
Paritranaya sadhunam.
Vinashaya cha dushkritam.
Vinashaya cha dushkritam.
Samsthapanarthaya.
Dharma samsthapanarthaya. Sambhavami yuge yuge.
To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. According to Bhagavad Gita, a sadhu, holy man, is a man in Krishna consciousness. A person may appear to be irreligious, but if he has the qualifications of Krishna consciousness wholly and fully, he is to be understood to be a sadhu. And dushkritam applies to those who do not care for Krishna consciousness. Such miscreants, or dushkritam, are described as foolish and the lowest of mankind. Even though they may be decorated with mundane education, whereas a person who is 100% engaged in Krishna consciousness is accepted as a sadhu, even though such a person may be neither learned nor well-cultured. As far as the atheistic are concerned, it is not necessary for the Supreme Lord to appear, as he is to destroy them. As he did with the demons Ravana and Kansa, the Lord has many agents who are quite competent to vanquish demons. But the Lord especially descends to appease his unalloyed devotees, who are always harassed by the demonic. The demon harasses the devotee even though the latter may happen to be his skin. Although Prahlad Maharaj was the son of Hiranyakashipu, he was nonetheless persecuted by his father. Although Devaki, the mother of Krishna, was a sister of Kamsa, she and her husband Vasudeva were persecuted only because Krishna was to be born of them. So Lord Krishna appeared primarily to deliver Devaki rather than kill Kamsa, but both were performed simultaneously. Therefore it is said here that to deliver the devotee and vanquish the demon miscreants, the Lord appears in different incarnations. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita of Krishnadas Kaviraj, the following verses summarize these principles of incarnation. सृष्टि हेतु जय मूर्ति प्रपंचे अवतारे से ईश्वर मूर्ति अवतार नाम धरे मायातीता पर व्योमे सवार अवस्थान विश्व अवतारी धरे अवतार नाम. The avatar or the incarnation of Godhead descends from the kingdom of God for material manifestation. And the particular form of the personality of Godhead who so descends is called an incarnation or avatar. Such incarnations are situated in the spiritual world, the kingdom of God. When they descend to the material creation, they assume the name avatar. There are various kinds of avatars, such as Purusha avatars, Guna avatars, Leela avatars, Shakya Vesha avatars, Manvantara avatars, and Yuga avatars, all appearing on schedule all over the universe. But Lord Krishna is the principal Lord, the fountainhead of all avatars. Lord Shri Krishna descends from the specific purpose of mitigating the anxieties of the pure devotees, who are very anxious to see him in his original Vrindavan pastimes. Therefore, the prime purpose of the Krishna avatar is to satisfy his unalloyed devotees. The Lord says that he incarnates himself in every millennium. This indicates that he incarnates also in the age of Kali. As stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the incarnation of the age of Kali is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who spread the worship of Krishna by the Sankirtan movement, congregational chanting of the holy names, and spread Krishna consciousness throughout India. He predicted that this culture of Sankirtan will be broadcast all over the world, from town to town and village to village. Lord Chaitanya, as the incarnation of Krishna, the personality of Godhead, is described secretly but not directly in the confidential parts of the revealed scriptures, such as the Upanishads, Mahabharata, and Bhagavata. The devotees of Lord Krishna are very much attracted by the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya. This avatar of the Lord does not kill the miscreants, but delivers them by his causeless mercy. Any questions? Srila Prabhupada explained everything in this verse. So as we are celebrating Janmashtami, Tuesday, 5,000 years ago, approximately 5,000 years ago, there was another festival, there was another event happening. And this event is a beautiful event where Kansa was on a chariot. The chariot was moving. And behind was a sister, Devaki, and Vasudeva. A beautiful 75 degrees sunny New Jersey day. Everything was nice. And people lined up on the streets. There was music being played, flowers being showered. Everything you can think of auspicious. Devaki's father had donated and given to Vasudeva about 600 to 800 elephants decorated with gold. About 8,000 horses studded with gold. And 200 maidservants were accompanying Devaki along with the chariot. This was the tradition back then. And while they were going, everything was happy. Everyone was happy. Suddenly there was a lightning. And what did the lightning say? Kansa, you fool! You will be killed by your sister's 8th child. Now think about this. A lot of time people argue. God really appeared when there was God there. What is this you worship stone? All this time wasting thing. Here, even Akashvani is, or Akashvani, the noise also happened during Muhammad's time. In Quran also you hear that there was an Akashvani and the message came from there. So it's not very uncommon. So this sound when it happened, here very clearly Srila Prabhupada says, highlighted, why does the Lord appear? He basically appears to deliver the devotee and vanquish the demon miscreants. Now Kansa was very powerful. But think about it, if Krishna, if the Supreme Lord wanted to kill a demonic demon like Kansa, he didn't really have to appear. You see? That lightning itself, how many times you read the newspaper and today thunderstorm, this storm, that storm, and there was lightning and somebody was on the park and they got hit by it and boom, finish. So that one lightning or Indra could have just sent his Vajra, hit Kansa, finish right there. Why all this whole drama, Krishna here, jail, all that? Mainly because of all of us. To protect his devotees and to give pleasure to his devotees. That was his sole and main purpose. So all of you know what happened after that. I will not go into that. I thought I may go into that, but lack of time, I won't go into that. All of you know the story. So Krishna, even if you see the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, if Ravan had to be killed, do you really think Lord Ram had to appear? Yes? No? Anyone?
No.
Who could have done it? Angad could have done it. Hanuman could have done it. Anybody could have done it. Easily. Ravana was before also defeated by many folks. So this was no need to come. But whenever the Lord appears, He's glorifying His devotees. So let's look at pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. He came, Sita Maharani was taken. Sita Maharani was never taken by Ravana actually. She went into the fire, into the earth. And then she came back after the whole war was over, she came back. Who can touch Lakshmi? Who can touch Sita? Ravana can never touch Sita. Some people are very foolishly, they argue, how could Ravana take rape? How could Ravana could never take? This was her pastime. She disappeared and then she reappeared. But look at the Lord Ram's pastimes. Who all were glorified in that? He killed Ravana, but how many people? Hanuman, Vibhishan, Angad, Sugriv, Jatayu, Shabri, so many glorifications. And even in Krishna's pastime, how many devotees were glorified? So many. You look at the Krishna book, and there's chapters after killing the demons and glorifying them. So Krishna, the Lord, does not need to appear to kill the demons. He can take care of that either himself or one of his assistants can do it also. But of all the Dashavatars, once Krishna appears himself, a lot of times people say, Aapke Hare Krishna movement, your Hare Krishna movement, why do you worship Krishna as Supreme Lord? Actually, Vishnu aaye the na. From Vishnu, Krishna appeared. Yes, the TV serial Vishnu Puran tells that, but not Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam clearly explains that the fountainhead of all the avatars is Lord Shri Krishna himself. Lord Brahma, who was the first created being, himself says in Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Adi Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. He's the first, he's the fountainhead of all avatars. He's the cause of all causes. So do not get disturbed, do not, by serials and all that, don't. Go to the authority. Shastra, written by a pure devotee of God. So the source of all is Krishna. Then there are many avatars. One may say, what about Jesus Christ? Do you consider him as God? Of course, read Prabhupada's books. Srila Prabhupada says, Jesus Christ is our Guru. We must worship, we must pay obeisances. Many times when Srila Prabhupada came in the early days, people said, have you come here to convert people? And Prabhupada said, no. I've come here to teach them what they've forgotten. Any path that will lead you to love of God is the true path. So there is no confusion. After I came and I read Srila Prabhupada's book, all my confusion about what is religion disappeared. The problem is that we do not read the books. And we rely on what we've heard from serials, what we've heard from our parents, what we've been following for traditions from years and years and years. And then it's so ingrained in us, it's very difficult to change. But if you just pick up the book, and Tat Vidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshyanti Te Jnanam Jnaninas Tattvadarshina. It is said that one must approach a spiritual master and inquire from him submissively. And the one who has seen the truth will reveal that to you. So that is the process we must follow. So Krishna comes to glorify and help the devotees during trouble. Now, if I ask you, are you all devotees? How many of you all are devotees in here? Please raise your hand. Nobody. Big Haribol to everybody. That's what I was hoping, that nobody will raise their hand. Because our Goswamis have said that one who calls himself a devotee is not a devotee. One who claims to be a devotee is not a devotee. So we all claim that we are not devotees. But actually we are. We are devotees and we are actually path of Krishna consciousness. We all may be at different levels, Some may be Uttam Adhikari, some may be Madhyam Adhikari, some may be Kanishta Adhikari, but we are all devotees on the path of Krishna consciousness. But we must always consider ourselves as non-devotees. It's very important. So Krishna comes and he glorifies his devotees. Arjuna on the battlefield, Hanuman, so many pastimes. Demons to aise kill ho gaye, just killed by easily. But when he's glorifying, look at the mood of the devotees. I want to speak about a few things here. One is glorification. So Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago, and after 5,000 years ago, his pure devotee Srila Prabhupada ki, is glorified all over the world today. Srila Prabhupada has left this planet, but he's still glorified. All of us are here today because of Srila Prabhupada. And like that, so many devotees are glorified. I'll give you an example of myself. I was studying at the Bhakti Viksha. I was a 10th grade failure. I failed in mathematics. It was my worst subject. When I was young, I went to school, math class, I came and I failed. My mom said, how come did you fail? I said, because the teacher doesn't know anything. So what do you mean? She says, well, first day when I went to school, she said 4 plus 4 is 8. So I was memorizing it. Next day I went to school, she said 6 plus 2 is 8. The third day when I went, she said 5 plus 3 is 8. I was totally confused. So my foundation in math was horrible. So when I came to 10th grade, I failed badly in math. Now you know in India, growing up in India, if you fail in 10th standard or 12th, what it means. You can't step out. It's the end of the world. Kali has come to an end. You think about many things, hope and this and that, and so many things. So I was like that. But somehow, Krishna's mercy, that he saved me for today. I had to come and give a class. What I'm trying to get to is that I'm a 10th grade failure, but I was bad in math, but I was excellent in sports. So, but it had no value in India. Now if I was there, it would have been something else. But the thing is that somebody who had nothing, but coming to Krishna consciousness, I see sometimes devotees, PhD, masters, so many, they come and they suddenly pay obeisances to me. And I'm like, Hare Krishna, Prabhu, what are you doing? You have masters, you have PhD, I have only bachelor's degree, let me pay obeisances to you. But so much glorification started coming and I was wondering, why these glorifications? How? And I could always remember that it was only because of Srila Prabhupada. And because of, of course people look at what you are, what you wear, and inside something else, but outside. So I always said that this glorification is the most dangerous thing for a devotee. If you want to know what is the most dangerous thing in Krishna consciousness, one of the most dangerous things is when you are glorified by somebody else. If you are glorified by somebody else, that could be the beginning of your downfall. You're invited to somebody's house for dinner. And you tell Mataji, wonderful sabji, Mataji. Excellent. Can you give me the recipe, Mataji? Mataji will never forget for her life the sabji and the glorification that you made. But if that glorification goes into the head, there could be serious damage. Sometimes you ask, Mataji, wonderful, or Prabhuji, wonderful. Recipe, can you give me the recipe? And sometimes we hold on to it. It's very good, really, but I don't want to share it with anybody. No, if we share more Krishna consciousness or anything we share, the more we get. So similarly, it could be anything. Like today I'm giving a class. I usually don't give a Sunday class. But I give a Sunday class. And until I don't give a Sunday class, nobody has a problem with me. But the moment I give a Sunday class, if everybody goes, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, loudly.
Hari
Bol, loudly.
Hari Bol.
Somebody in the class will feel, Hari Bol. So much glorification. Or if I sing a very nice Gaura Aarti, and Namras Prabhu is there, singer, main singer, and if he feels, how come, everybody singing so nicely with him. That is the downfall, that is the real test. If you want to test a devotee, first call them and glorify them. Wonderful kirtan, wonderful class, yeah, Aarti, how the hand goes. I'm like totally captivated. Huh? The way you wash the pots, एक भी plate, इतना माताजी लोग घसते, एक भी no dot on the spot, and the plates outside you wash. Look at all the plates washing Mataji ki.
Jai.
And then after that you tell them, Mataji, who washed the pots today? Mataji, वो थोड़ा सा उसमें सब्जी का रह गया, you did not wash that properly. Huh? Nobody has told me this ever. And now, this person, who does he think? Am I his servant? Yes, Prabhu, your name is Ramachandra Das. You are servant. Devi Dasi, you are servant. No, but you think I am your servant? Wait, not mine, but your Dasanu Das is servant. So, glorification is very important. But the Lord glorifies. He will glorify you so much. And when problem comes, then also Lord will come himself, or he'll send somebody. So I was a 10th grade failure. When I came to the US in 1989, I was paying for my own school. I was working full time. And in the evening, I was going to school full time, paying for my own college. And at one point, one of our rich businessmen relatives came and said, Prabhu, not Prabhu that time, he said, please, we want to start a 7-Eleven. I will put the money, you manage the store. And I just started coming to Krishna consciousness in this temple, 1993. So I went, checked it out, very good franchise. And I told my dad, hey, this is what he's offering. My dad said, let's go for it. We'll put our time, we'll put his money. But then I thought about it because I've been reading Prabhupada's books. And I said, no, I'm not going to do this. Why? Because they have dairy in there. They're selling meat. So I said, I'm not going to do this. I used to eat meat. And I had just given up meat eating. So I said, I'm not going to do this. And my dad was like, think about it. A lot of money lost. I said, never mind, forget it. But after years, I saw whatever my needs were completely satisfied, fulfilled by the Lord. The Lord always protects his devotees, Krishna says. He promises. Every one of us has problems. The problem is that we try to solve a problem by ourselves. You see? If you just come here to the temple on a weekday, sit down here right in front of God, take your chanting bead and chant your rounds purely. Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
He has to listen. And he will listen. The problem is when we come to the temple, you know how we come? We come with our face down. Always problem. Always problem. What is the problem? The problems are not big. Problems are very small. My car is not working, or wife mails are my son did this, or my job is not there, this, that. Every time we come in front of the Lord, problem. Narottam Das Thakur, one of our Acharya, does say, Narottam Bado Dukhi, Nitai More Koro Sukhi, Rakho Ranga, Charanera Pa. So he does say, I'm very dukhi. But that dukhi is different. He's dukhi for spiritual. People understood wrongly. Every time dukhi, so they come here, dukhi. So I called one Mataji. I said, Mataji, your name is Dukhi Dasi. Prabhu Krishna Dukhi Das. No, when we come in front of the Lord, if we every time come like this, somebody told this, I shared it with. Somebody said through somebody, yeah, Ramachandra Prabhu is always serious. So I took it as a message from the Lord. I said, must be I am serious. If somebody is saying, one person, two people said, Ramachandra Prabhu, when you come Sunday, it's like so serious. He's going to hit us or something. So I said, no, I must change. I must change. So whenever I come now, I'm this smiling. And everybody said, why are you smiling, Baba? What is that to smile? I said, no, I'm smiling for the Lord. Otherwise, you always come like this, you come in front of Lord Ram and run away. Hey, Haribol, where are you going? देखो ना रामचंद्र प्रभु वापस आ गए, serious face लेके. He's again serious all the time. No, do not worry when there is Hari. Why to worry? All problems will be taken care of by him. Yes, there are genuine problems. Yes, there are Adi Bhautik problems, Adi Daivi problems, Adhyatmika problems. There are problems caused by nature, there are problems caused by our own body, and there are problems caused by other people. But try to resolve them by yourself. Krishna has given us the intelligence, we can use it to resolve. But only to a certain extent. After that, you see, you cannot do anything. Hey Govinda!
Hey Govinda!
Who is that?
Draupadi.
Hey Govinda!
Hey Govinda!
So we just rely up to him. So we must get, as devotees, we must plug into Krishna consciousness. Plug into Krishna consciousness. The problem is we are not plugged in. I started coming initially, I liked it so much, I plugged myself into Krishna consciousness. Plugged in. Then suddenly somebody says, why are you plugged today? Sunday, no? Take it out. Why are you plugged Sunday? Every Sunday you plug yourself in. I said, yeah, because I like it. I'm feeling something nice inside. Yeah, but what about the new movie that got released? I said, you go now, or you go on Friday. Then after a few years, again, now you are plugged in on Friday also. It's Bhakti Vriksha. Why you do this? No movie, nothing. I said, no, but I need to be plugged in because that's how I get charged up. I need to do that. For material, I go now, Monday to Friday to work, 10 hours a day. Only 2 hours plug in, Friday, Saturday, what's the big deal? Okay, plug in. Then, suddenly, okay, now take your plug out. Why? Where you want to go? There is another plug. There is another temple. Let's go there. There you plug in. I'm like, no. Why other temple? Here Krishna is there, Prabhupada's books are there. No, temple is temple. You go to any temple, Krishna is there. So, no. This plug is very good, charging fast. Other temple, no guru, nothing, no sampradaya, nothing. I don't get charged. I said, okay, let's go today. I went with an empty battery. And I plugged myself there. 2 hours I sitting there, everybody is just serious looking at the clock. And no charging. So I said, no, I charge only here, Friday and Sunday. Then sometimes people come, they walk, they trip on the wire. But they're intentionally tripping, so the wire will come out. You keep coming every Saturday, every Sunday, Friday. Now also Wednesday. Some people started Wednesday program. Something 3 days a week. Then somebody come and trip you. You come in doing nice seva. Nicely cutting the lawn. Somebody say, hey, you see that one grass? You didn't cut that. So long. Somebody will come and criticize your service. They'll trip over your wire, trying to plug it up. But do not worry. Do not worry. Plug it back in. You see? Egos will be hurt. People say, and this is what was happening in Kansa also. Kansa's ego was hurt. But they Vasudeva nicely spoke to her. Kansa and said, hey, you're great, you're this, you're that, and he pacified. And Prabhupada says, one must be diplomatic with such people. So people come and chastise you. After coming to Krishna consciousness, outside world, Krishna consciousness, wherever, criticism. And then 16 hours, hey, it doesn't work like that, devotees. It doesn't work like that. I'm saying this for myself. I'm just reminding myself. So that will happen. Then you are plugged in, and somebody else will plug on top of you. Somebody else will plug on top of you. Because it's your service. You are the only one who's going to change the deity dress. Somebody else comes to learn deity dress changing. One more plug. No problem. You also plugged in, I also plugged in. No, this is my plug. This is I only get charged. All these problems you'll face, you will have problems. Then sometimes you're plugged in, but the power goes off. What do you do? Plug in, but no power, 90 there, then what? That is lack of association. If you're not plugged in properly, association is gone, finish. Nothing will happen. Shri Gauranitai ki, Sitaram Lakshman Bhaktanuman ki, Srinathji ki, Prabhupada ki. I'll wrap up with this. So, all this happens. Then suddenly, sometimes you see certain wires, a little friction happens, what do you call that? Short circuit. Then you have to handle it properly. Or then you have to put a tape, right? So devotees get hurt. Sometimes serving, or at work or anywhere. Somebody hurt me, somebody this. I'm not coming to the temple now. I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. And then we have to go to a counselor. Just come in. Don't worry, it was very nice service, you're doing very nice. You have to patch up, put some tape around. And then plug in, then what happens? Charging begins, right? So verification problems are all there. You have to be very careful. Very careful not let it get in here. 23 years I've been coming to this temple. Recently couple of devotees said, something happened, I'm not coming to the temple. I said, 23 years I've been coming. You know what I've seen? Many times. Here, outside, so many things. So many Bollywood movies I missed. You're not coming because one new Bahubali. So many I missed. Baby showers. I don't know how many babies they grew up, they're not taller than me now. So many birthdays I missed. So what? So many friends I lost. So many family I lost. But here each and every one of you is my friends. Each and one of you are my family. And this is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So if Krishna appeared, when Krishna appeared that time, just like this, music was being played. Keep playing, don't stop. The birds were singing. The peacocks were dancing. The rivers were flowing. The ocean was flowing nicely with beautiful waves. There was light, dark clouds in the ocean, and there was just perfect rain. Such auspicious signs were there when Krishna appeared. The Devi Devtas were showering flowers. The Gandharvas, the Kinnaras, the Charanas, they were all singing and dancing in the heavenly planets when Krishna appeared. They were all excited. Initially, Bhumi Devi went to Brahmaji and said, "Oh, there is problems, please help." Brahmaji went to Vishnu, said, "Please help." Vishnu said, "Okay, I will come. Tell all the demigods to come down. I will come shortly. Tell them to take place in Braja. I will come." Brahmaji became the lead, Namras Prabhu, like that, lead of festival. Brahmaji became lead of the festival, him and Indra. They assigned everybody, "Hey, you go here, you go here, you go here, you go here, you go here," and they went back to their Brahmalok and Indralok and rested. Lead. They went and rested. And you see, that is why, this is my dear friend Lal Govind Prabhuji is here. I was talking to him yesterday, and he was telling me this wonderful pastime. So I said, I'll mention it. That they went and sat down. Everybody went else to do service. And yes, during Krishna's pastimes, there were two personalities who had a problem with Krishna. Who were they? Brahma did what? Brahma? He kidnapped coward boys. Hey, kaun hai Krishna? Who's this? He was punished. He was given a lesson. And who was the second?
Indra.
He was given a lesson. So here is a lesson for you all. Janmashtami is coming. This lead is going to be on the floor. It's going to be there. Everybody, all the leads are going to be there. But everybody else, are you happy about Krishna Janmashtami? Or you're just looking to play flush, til patti? And those who are from India know. Janmashtami is a night to play cards. So we can stay awake. That used to be but no, now you come enthusiastically and celebrate Krishna's birthday. So I encourage all of you, please take part, be joyful, and when you come in front of Krishna next time, you remember my face, always serious. So if you remember me as serious, you will always smile in front of Krishna. And when Krishna sees you smiling, Gaurita will be so happy. Just imagine that. He knows your heart, he knows you have a problem inside. But on front, you are showing that you are happy. Not only Krishna, with the devotees also. Don't just say my service, me, mine, nothing. Even at work, help others. If you know something, help others. The more you give to others, everyone fears. What if I give others and they step on me? If you step on you, you lose hair like me. Nothing happens. You see, let them step on you. Krishna will take care of you. So please come, engage in Janmashtami.